Thank you for joining me.
The pleasure is mine. I know we've been meaning to connect, I think, for a little while, just because we're both down in Texas. But no, excited to get on the call with you.
Well, thank you. And I'm excited because, base camp is coming up and we're getting ready for it. Tell me this. I've got a couple questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I'm asking them kind of in the right order, sort of. Right? So first of all, how are you? How are things going?
I would say near perfection.
Oh, awesome.
Oh yeah.
Tell us.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, and I'm going to introduce you as Dr. Scott Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
a chiropractor in Dallas. But tell me a little bit more about what other things you do that are like superpowers. What kind of amazing things do you do?
Well, the one update I have for you, I'm down in San Antonio now, so I'm a little south of you guys.
Okay.
I bought just here a number of years ago, and just cruising. I actually bought the clinic before COVID and grew all throughout COVID. Didn't affect the office in the slightest. Actually, increased. I mean, 2021 versus 2020, I grew like 50%. So
Awesome.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. As far as superpowers go, most recently completed what's called the LCP, which is the Legion of Chiropractic Philosophers program. That is the first year of the Diplomate in Chiropractic Philosophy. Starting in March 2024, I will start the DPHCS, so the Diplomate in Philosophic Chiropractic Standards. That's a 2-year diplomate because you have to do that first year. So it's technically 3 years, the LCP being that first year of it. So that was really a wonderful deep dive into the nuts and bolts of the why we do what we do as chiropractors.
Wow. Awesome. Is that, do you feel like that helped your clinic?
Absolutely. It's what it did for me is you take this massive concept of chiropractic, and I was able to nail everything down to a very pinpoint answers. So independent of what somebody comes in with or what questions they have in the clinic, in the office, I can answer very directly and resolve whatever question they are concerned they may have. And it all is based off of chiropractic philosophy. And so I have that deep dive understanding. I don't go into some of those massive concepts with them because that's for me to understand, but it allows me to directly address any of their concerns or really the questions they have about what is this thing we call chiropractic and why are you checking me for subluxations and why are you performing set adjustments to correct those subluxations.
Awesome. What I'm hearing is it gave you clarity.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
It gave you clarity. That's awesome. And that's one of the things that we're going to be helping our attendees at base camp do is to clarify their practice focus and their mission statements and those kinds of things. So how much time did it take you to get that clarity? Like, it sounds like it's been a massive undertaking.
Yeah. So last year, that course alone was 110 hours.
Wow.
And then to complete the diplomate, I believe is another 240 hours across 2 years. So it's a little approaches upwards of, I think, 360 hours total.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's got to be a little daunting when you start it, and that like this massive celebration at the end because you get through so much.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And like you said, just the focus, the understanding of why, which is just huge.
Sure. I think I think understanding why for all of us that's like you start that as a child, right? Why? Every kid has that question.
Very much so. Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to ask you this. What inspired you to take that course? What inspired you to move forward in your practice like that?
Right. Throughout school, throughout chiropractic school, so I'm in my 11th year in practice, so about a decade ago, started to get into what was known as the green books in chiropractic. And there's the knowledge versus confidence curve. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this one, but just with my hands, I'll sort of draw this curve, right? So on this side going up and down, you have your confidence on a topic, and on down this side, you have your knowledge of said topic. Well, you come out of school and you have a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of confidence, right? Well, it started to really go up. And as I delved into chiropractic philosophy, and then I reach a point where it's like, oh, I have a ton of confidence, but I really don't know anything. And so then that confidence really starts to take a very deep dive down. So I'm learning more and realizing I know nothing. And so that knowledge confidence goes up. You reach a point where it's like, oh, wow, this is bigger than I understand. So that confidence really tanks down as you're getting more. And so I was down at this point right here when I decided to take the LCP program. And now I'm absolutely surpassed where I was on the knowledge and confidence scale. So that's what really got me into wanting to do more than just my base hours, right? My base continuing ed hours. I wanted to do more in that regard because I was realizing, yeah, I know some things, but golly, do I really know some things? And that's what I got from it, is that confidence and, like you said, the clarity of understanding why.
That's great. I'm sure you're as excited about getting to base camp as we are.
Indeed.
What will you be inspiring base camp attendees with? Like, what kinds of things or tidbits are you going to share with them?
So this is a talk that I'm building from basically the ground up. I haven't done a talk like this for anybody before, so I'm excited to share it because I'm still tweaking it and working on it and expanding on it. The main concept is something called salutogenesis. This was a concept that was really only came around in the last 40 plus years. And it gets into understanding health and that it's not, there is no textbook in all of healthcare that defines health as the absence or presence of a symptom, right? Absence of symptoms does not mean you have health, right? And so what the basis of salutogenesis is, I'll use an analogy of if you're growing a plant and something's wrong with the plant, you don't spray something on the plant, you fix the soil.
Yeah, exactly.
From there, how salutogenesis, or the model of healthcare that is salutogenic model, how that ties into chiropractic, how we can use that in our practices to explain, again, why are we adjusting you? I'm going to break that down, the different models. So there's a couple different models of subluxation, and which one is most in line or philosophically sound with that salutogenic model. And then the latter part of it is getting something called the normal complete cycle. That one gets pretty heady. So I'm excited to break that one down. I remember when in the LCP program, we were going over the normal complete cycle, and I'm now flying home from Davenport, Iowa, back to San Antonio, Texas. I'm 30,000 feet in the air and trying to just wrap my head around these concepts of the normal complete cycle and therefore the abnormal complete cycle. So those would be the really main topics delving into at base camp that I'm excited to share.
That's exciting. I'm getting excited about it because for me, everything's about animals, and animals have such a different response to their environment. I know that, than we do, because we block out a lot of things. We block out the fact that we're wearing clothes. Oh, that's normal, and just little things like that make then when we start to hear the information about chiropractic that applies to humans, I just get really excited about how I'm going to apply that to animals. And I hope that our attendees are going to be able to see that too, because it's going to help them in their practice. It's going to help them be able to talk to their clients about what's happening with their animals in a we have a tendency to anthropomorphize our animals, put them in our shoes.
Yes.
We don't put ourselves in their shoes very often. And I
Right.
think what you're going to be telling them will help them to be able to, for their clients to put themselves back in their animals' shoes so they'll be able to treat them better.
It's absolutely applicable for animals in this regard, because the concepts we're discussing is not just, it's not human based, it's not animal based, it's all of us based. It's literally the coordination or coherence of how all of us function, not just animals or humans. It's independent of that. So yeah, it ties into to really any species.
Yeah, I can't wait. What would you tell our base camp people? Like, what's your $1 million practice building bonus, gold nugget?
Effective communication. That's really the gold nugget that I have. If you can effectively communicate, because the hope is that we can deliver the goods already, right?
Right.
But if we can't effectively communicate, no one's going to understand why you're doing what you're doing, and therefore they're not going to refer or come back. For example, with my office, I bought my practice 4.5 years ago. I've done zero marketing, and I quadrupled my practice in 4 years.
Awesome. You're like those guys that go out with, we're taking away all your money and you just have to go build something and they go do it.
So that's really the gold nugget I have, and then the talk where I'm going to be sharing with you with everyone at base camp is going to help with that effective communication, and being able to just tell people, yes, this is what's going on, this is what we're going to be doing, and this is what you can expect as the outcomes.
Awesome. I love it. All right, they're going to be able to sign up for base camp through our website at animalchiropracticeducation.com. There are 2 levels of registration. We made a little shift about a week ago. So for those people who want to just attend, they don't need CE, maybe they think it doesn't really apply to them, they can attend for $197 and they can get all this information with, it's like buying the Ford F-150 with nothing in it, not even a radio, right? So it's going to be like that. However, base camp is now approved for 5 credit hours for chiropractors for CE here in Texas. So if you need your chiropractic CE, get the VIP package. The VIP package is quite a bit more, but it's got a lot more in it. It's going to give them more time with speakers. It's going to give them some really good surprises that we're not going to talk about too much, but they'll also get all the CE that they need. So we're grateful for speakers like you, Dr. Kelly, who are going to be there. And all your contact information will be on the dashboard in base camp. So they'll be able to find you if they have questions and be able to connect.
Absolutely. I look forward to it. Can't wait. We're less than a month out and I'm excited for it.
Thank you. It sounds like you're ready.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We're going to say bye to everybody for now, and we'll talk to them soon.